how saving power also saves the planet, basically. So energy is the backbone of every country's development because we all need energy to survive. We all need energy for business, for movement, for basically every operation, even in business, we need energy. But in Nigeria, it's also a daily struggle. From blackouts, generator fumes to crazy bills, we all feel it. So for this space, I'm not an electric engineer, but we are all going to be learning together, and we are all going to be co-creating actions, sustainable actions we can actually do in our local environments and communities. And we're all here to learn together. So there's no right or wrong answer. So everybody is just going to be sharing information with each other. So and this space is also going to empower Nigerians for a sustainable energy use. All right. So an icebreaker. So you guys can just put in on the comments section. How many hours of light did you get today? I'm not available to see the comments, but let's just go ahead. Just drop in. How many hours of light did your NEPA people give you guys today? How many did you receive? Maybe at home or at your workplace? Was it all day or was it like for a few hours? Can you just give me an estimate? Let's just know. Okay, I'm seeing all day, 3 hours. Nice. Full day, no light off. Nice. Okay. More comments, please. How many hours of light did you guys get today at home or at your workplace? All right, that's fine. So we can say there's a little bit of improvements for today. Anyways, let's move on. So at the end of today's training, we are going to be learning how um, we are going to understand the different types of energy from renewable energy to non-renewable. We are also going to be learning um, how we are going to be efficient in our energy use and how we can conserve energy as well. We are also going to learn how to identify household and business energy. We're also going to learn to audit energy use and plan for action. So basically, energy is simply what makes everything work. It's the ability to do work. So from charging your phone, that's electrical energy. Cooking, that's thermal energy. Fueling your generator, that's chemical energy, turning into mechanical energy. We use different forms daily, often without thinking about it. Understanding energy's role in sustainability is very crucial because it impacts our environment and the economy as well. So we need to think about the future because fossil fuel is really harming our environments. And the efficient use of energy leads to the cost savings and environmental benefits. So as youth, we should embrace energy management very, very, very well and to also contribute to the sustainability of our country's development in the future. So there are two main types of energy. I hope you guys can hear me, right? You can hear me.
Yes, please.
All right,
Yes.
nice. So there are two types of energy basically. We have the renewable, which comes from natural sources that replenish, and we have the non-renewable. These are the sources of energy that depletes and they actually pollute. I term them dirty because they have a very bad effects on our environment. So Nigeria has vast solar potential. According to IEA in 2022, we can receive about an average of 5.5 kilowatts per hour per meter square per day. So there's a lot of resources we can tap into from the sun. So we should always think of renewable energy in the future, in our future endeavors, and also for the long term. Renewable energy helps the environment and is sustainable. So renewable energy is clean. Example of renewable energy is solar, wind, hydro, biomass. For example, biogas, where living things when they decay or they release gas, this heat can also give us some kind of energy. But from non-renewable energy, we have petrol, diesel, gas, coal, firewood. When we burn this energy, it releases greenhouse gases that deplete the ozone layer, can cause climate change and other deleterious effects on the environment. So Nigeria is really having a lot of energy crisis. Our energy crisis is quite massive. Over 85 million people don't have reliable electricity, according to the World Bank in 2021. And also, SMEs, small businesses, they also suffer. Many spend over 50K monthly on fuel to survive. I remember when we couldn't meet up for some applications and some works too for about 3 days because of power outage. When it just rains a little, we will not see light for like a week or so. And fuel is very costly. So it's kind of crazy right now in the country. From power supply being inconsistent to transformers having issues. Energy demand is actually rising as Nigeria's population and economy is continuing to grow. And also, it's affecting our economy because as we depend on this, the more energy demand is put on the supply. But we need to engage our youths on this energy crisis. What can we do? How can we create awareness? What actions do we need to do? How can we leverage on advocacy to solve these energy issues? So as youths, we are all the pulse of Nigeria's economy. We are the techies, we are the content creators, we are the barbers and more. We are the fashion designers, and we depend on energy for business. But when there's no power, everything slows down. It's time to shift from frustration to innovation. So daily electricity impacts productivity, businesses, and even learning. So who wants to share? Let's take a moment. How did lack of electricity affect your hustle? Maybe this week or previously. Can anybody share that experience? Who wants to share? Just unmute and talk. Go ahead. Just introduce yourself and share. Hello. Can somebody share? How did the lack of electricity affect your hustle or your business? Unmute your mic.
Well,
Can you guys hear me?
yeah, we can hear you. Well, personally,
All right.
I wasn't really affected, but I knew of some friends that depended on it. That has affected their
Okay.
business. The operational cost has risen astronomically, and business are not becoming more profitable and sustainable. So it has actually led to a lot of business closure, particularly the SMEs that depended on it. You know, but where I am here in Lagos, for the past 72 hours, the light has not blinked. It's not to say that it's perfect though. There are some times that we don't even have for 2 days, but for the past 72 hours, we've been having light. So I think it's a global thing, it's a challenge. And the bill too, the way it burns out, just like the airtime that we used to recharge right now, before you blink an eye, your meter is beeping again. So it's a concern, it's very, very concerning. Thank you.
All right. Nice. Does anybody want to share again? All right. So let's just move on then. So we need to take action. We need to think of sustainable actions we can take in our communities to solve this problem. So advocacy also is another thing we can do. We need to advocate for renewable energy policies that can empower youth and protect the planet from the underdeserved communities that are affected by climate change to the urban areas. If you think of ways to help people um, concerning their energy demand, so advocacy is really important. Writing to the National Assembly, writing to politicians to telling them why they need to think of investing in other sources of energy, um, and also maintaining and managing the current energy facilities we have too, because it's another thing to have an energy plant. It's another thing to also maintain and manage it effectively. Yeah, I can also relate with the tariffs being high these days. So all these things need to boil down policy making and policy implementation. Who checkmates all these charges, and the Nigerians actually get what they pay for. So all this needs to be communicated with the relevant stakeholders. All right, so this is a plot showing yearly consumption of electrical appliances in a home for a year. So you can also see that the air conditioner has the highest consumption of electrical power. It's about 1,200 kilowatt per hour, and the list was a DVD. So this gets to show how all the appliances
Hi
we
there.
have in our houses, how
Hi.
they consume our power and how they consume energy.
Hello,
It
Beto. Can you
shows
hear me?
how the different trends, um, how the different trends of the appliances showed how, and the capacity of the appliances, how they all work hand in hand. So when we understand how much energy our devices consume, it's going to help us to manage energy very effectively. So we need to check our devices for their power ratings. Some of them, they write the, when you check on the back or the carton or the back of the equipment, you would see the power rating of each of your devices. For
Hello,
example, a
Mr.
fan uses 75 watts per hour. So when you multiply that by the hours it's on, you not
Hello,
also
Mr.
forget the phantom loads and all those things. When you put them in calculations, you understand how much power they are consuming as well. So some of us we leave our AC on and we are not going around in the house. So we need to also know how to maintain and be sustainable in our actions. As climate champions, we should also think of how we live day to day. Sometimes you don't need to on the AC, you just have to open the windows, get natural ventilation. So that's more sustainable and that's even more better and healthier. So we're going to do a little bit of exercise to understand how we can calculate our electricity bill per appliances. So when we understand this calculation, it will help us to manage and consume energy effectively. So electricity bill is not basically like it's not rocket science. It's actually simple. So if you can have a pen or a jotter close by, you can also have to jot some of the things I'll be saying. It's going to help you guys. So an interactive example would help you grasp how different appliances contribute to your overall cost of your bills or electricity. So by analyzing your usage patterns, you can pinpoint areas where you can save money and reduce waste, ultimately benefiting both your wallets and the environment. So let's try this with a device you use often. Hi guys, do you guys have your pen and your notepads on? Have your notepads ready? Hello, do you have your pen, your notepads? Because I'll give you guys an assignment later to do an audit on
Yes,
your
we do.
consumption. Can you hear me?
Yes, we do.
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
Hello, from the comment section. Can you hear me?
Hi.
Yes, we hear you.
Yes, can hear you.
Yes, can hear you. I can hear you.
Hi
While
guys,
saying
can
she
you hear
can hear
me?
you. Yep.
Can you hear me?
What? I can hear you.
Yeah,
Honestly,
Where did you guys? Where was I? Where was the last slide that you guys were on?
yeah, you were talking about electricity audits that we
Yeah,
should get a pen and papers, something like
yeah,
that.
yeah. Notepads ready.
Though
So
though you are breaking, I guess it's the network. You are not very audible. It's breaking.
but am I
I
audible
don't know.
now?
Maybe
Am I
it's just
better?
on my end. Wait,
Am I
I don't
better?
know.
Am
I
I
think
better now?
yeah, it's fair. It's fair.
All right. So anytime you guys can't hear me, just unmute. can't hear me. So because I'm not really on the meeting interface. So we are going to learn how to calculate our appliances consumption rates. So for example, let's start with a standing fan, like a device used often. So you check the power rating of that appliance. So for example, the standing fan is about 75 watts. This is written on the fan's label. And also, you check the usage. That's the amount of time that appliance is being used. So for example, using 10 hours for this calculation. So the next step you have to do is daily consumption. That's power times time equals to energy. So the power of the fan is 75 watts times 10 hours. So that will give us 750 watts hours per day. Then we convert to kilowatts per hour because that's the standard way to convert power. So for Abuja Electricity Distribution Company, I think for band B, if you're on band A, it's higher for the rate per unit. But from band B, it's 17 naira per unit. So you have to go and check how much what band are you on? How much are you being charged per unit? So we'll be using 17 naira per unit because I'm
I'm
familiar
busy.
with Abuja and for Jos.
Only
Yeah,
guys.
so you calculate 17 naira per unit. So when you know that, you just put you convert after you convert your 750 watts per hour to kilowatt. That you do 750 watts per hour divide by 1000. That's 0.75 kilowatts per hour per day. So for the monthly consumption is 0.75 kilowatt hour per day times 30 days. So that will give us um the amount. So for the fan, let's just assume that it's 17
Sorry,
naira per unit.
sorry. If I may ask, where is the 1,000 coming from?
The 1000 is to
Uh,
convert the watt hour to kilowatt hour per day. It converts the watt hour to kilowatt per hour.
Please, sir, can you
Divide
show
you,
me?
you divide you
Please.
divide 750 divided by 1000. That's how you got 0.75 kilowatt hour.
then my question is, where is the 1,000 coming from?
Is the standard to convert watt hour to kilowatts per hour.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. So when you divide it, you get 0.75. So let's just assume you want to calculate how much energy your fan has consumed for 30 days. That's a month. You would now do the 22.5 kilowatts per hour times 70 naira. So that's how you calculate it. Times 30 days. That's how you do it. So I would also send the sample so you guys will follow up for the energy audits. Then for the monthly consumption, you just 0.75 times 30 days. That's how they got the 22.5 kilowatts hour per month. So for every month, that fan is consuming 22.5 kilowatt hour. Then if you want to convert it to how much you are spending in naira, you will now do that amount per unit you are spending, 70 naira times 22.5. That's what give us 1,575 naira per month. So this would now teach you how much we are investing. How does it build up to the whole general cost you are paying for NEPA bill every month, and to teach you how to manage energy. I hope you are following.
Please, sir, can you throw more light on this very stuff you say? Because some of us will actually like to have business on material.
On what? Which
Like,
parts?
like the example you gave now. Can you please go a bit on it again?
All right, let me come again now. So let's check our fan, our standing fan. You will check how much power rating does it have on the information of the product. So let's imagine it's 75 watts it's coming on. So, and you will now check the duration of per day. Per day, how many hours do you use that fan? Let's just imagine it's 10 hours per day. So you now times 75 watts times 10 hours. That's 750 watts hour. Then we need to convert the watt hour to kilowatt hour. That's the standard um, units to come to understand energy consumption for power. So you will do 750,000. That will give us 0.75 kilowatt hour per day. So calculate how much in a month does it consume. We will now do um for a month we will do 30 times that's 0.75 kilowatt hour. That will give us 22.5 kilowatt hour. So if you want to know how much naira you have spent, you have to go and check how much you used to spend for a unit in your band. If you are in Abuja, how much does AEDC charge you? You can check online, you see the tariffs. Or like for JED, that's just electrical distribution company. You check, I think it's also 17 naira per unit. Depends on your band. If you're on band A, it's 209 units, 209 naira per unit. So all these things you have to check it, then you put it. So for this our calculation, AEDC is charging us 70 naira per unit. So to get how much that fan is consuming in power for naira, you have to do 70 naira times 22.5 kilowatt hour. That's what gave us 1,575 naira per month. So that's how much the fan is costing you for power. Do you understand now?
Yes, please.
All right. So we'll move on. So you can implement these calculations in your day-to-day activities. Know how much you are being charged and how to convert the ratings. So to save energy at home, one effective strategy is to switch your LED bulbs. Switch to LED bulbs. Basically, they consume up to 80% less energy than the traditional incandescent bulbs that shine very, very well, and they last much longer. So you can also unplug devices when not in use. Electronics continue to drop power every time, even when turned off, leading to unnecessary energy consumption. Also, we need to consider using energy efficient appliances. Investing in these can significantly reduce energy usage and lower your electricity bills over time. So there are other ways you can save energy. You can also manage your heating and cooling. Save how much time you boil your food, how much time you warm your food, save how much time you wash and dry your clothes. Understand and improve your home's energy use. Shut the doors, close curtains. Sometimes open the windows to receive ventilation instead of using the AC. Sometimes switch to energy saving LED and switch off lights when you are not using them. Like in the morning, you don't need to on your bulbs. The sun is already there. So these are like practical ways you can use to save energy at home. So why is power a challenge in Nigeria? And what alternatives have you seen or used? Well, many youths face limited access to reliable electricity, which hinders their education and productivity. When we discuss these challenges, we would actually see, as we discussed earlier, we've seen that we don't have constant power supply in some places. Then we need to now identify alternative energy sources that are crucial. You can now think of solar panels, wind turbines, think of other sustainable options. We can also think of local ideas that we can use to help us when we don't get the mainstream power supply. And also, there are some solutions we can use by engaging community initiative um, stakeholders to foster collaboration and awareness. When we share knowledge on energy conservation, youth can motivate each other to adopt greener practices. So there are lots of energy sources that are sustainable that we can start investing in. So you can start small. You can start buying a solar panel. You must not buy all the whole kits, all the whole setup at once. It's an investment. You can think of how to start saving up. Like maybe you can get a solar panel. Later, you can now get a battery or an inverter or something later on. So there are kind of ways we can solve these issues we have. So renewable energy is not just a future dream. They are a present reality. So lots of people are invested in lanterns, solar panels for village members. Small hydro power plants can also help. Also, we can also think of wind energy. I know it's kind of financial demanding, but something that if we can look up to and invest in, it's going to help us in the long run. And also, there's a case of off-grid solar success in Kaduna. So some people are really using solar, and they have gone off the grid, and they're enjoying power, unlimited power supply. So let's think of renewable energy, as many are embracing solar panels in their homes, in their business places as well. So I'll be sharing some do-it-yourself tips on how you can save energy as well. You can convert our old bulb to LED, like I said earlier. You can also use reflective roofing paints. You can use low power fan during the day. You can charge your phone with solar power banks. I've been seeing some power banks that now have some solar plates on them. Some innovative products that use sun to power their power banks, and then they use to charge their phones. You don't need a millionaire to make energy smart choices, basically. So reflective paint, like I said earlier, it reduces heat, which reduces like a fan use in your house or in a building. So also, youth innovators across Nigeria are repurposing old batteries into clean power banks. We can also create homemade solar water heaters that can help reduce heating costs, and it's a fun project that promotes sustainability and resourcefulness among your people. Like sometimes in hot places, hot situations, people can just put their water under the sun, and the water will just get warm, and they can use to take their baths. That's innovation too. Also, like I said earlier, using energy efficient LED bulbs instead of traditional bulbs can solve significant lower electricity bills. And also, we can implement smart power strips that helps to reduce energy waste by cutting power to devices when they are not in use, making it an easy energy saving habit to adopt. So these are like small things you can do in your place to reduce and be conscious of the energy you are consuming. So for your assignments, we'll be conducting a home energy audit to understand how energy is used in your household. So you start by identifying all your appliances and their power ratings. Then you create a list and record their usage patterns, how long do you use them. This exercise will help you to pinpoint areas where you can reduce consumption and save on your electricity bills. I'll send like a sample um, to the group so you can check the link, and then you can also feel free to research and create your own templates. I want everybody's audits to be unique. So you have to get an inventory of all the devices in your home, calculate the approximate energy use, suggest three changes to save 15% monthly. So think of sustainable actions that you will do that will save your energy consumption. So this is your power audit mission. I will send the assignment to the group as well. So you list all your home devices that use electricity, for example, then you calculate how much energy they use, then suggest three things you will do to reduce your energy use by 15%. You can use free mobile tools like NEPA Smart app or other calculator sheets or Excel sheets to just arrange them and send them to the submitting email. All right. So in conclusion, basically, we are going to be um, talking about ways. So everybody will now contribute here, how we can solve this issue and how we can manage energy in our community. So when we do things as a community, it helps us to attain a sustainable future. We must embrace energy saving practices that benefit not just our homes, but also the environment. By working together, we can inspire positive change and we can promote a culture of sustainability among Nigerian youths. So we can start taking actions from now. Now we've learned how to manage our energy. It's not all about having the knowledge. let's go and do the action. Every small effort counts. Start implementing energy efficient habits in your daily life. Encourage your peers to do the same and advocate for renewable energy in your community. So together we can create a significant impact on our planet's future. So um, let's keep thinking green. You can join um, different organizations that are up to energy consumption, up to energy management, like the Nigerian Energy Support Program. They also train youths on how to manage energy and also monitor the energy grid. And also Upward Eco, although we are not doing energy programs yet, but in a way, when you save plastic, we're also thinking of managing waste to convert them to biogas. When organic materials break down and they are heated up, they can also give us energy, eco-friendly. So there's this Nigerian Sustainable Energy for All as well. That organization is really important to the world because they are trying to push sustainable energy for everyone, even for the local communities in the grassroots. So you can think of joining the organization as well. Uh, so these are the references I got from World Bank and other places. You can feel free to connect with me. And now it's time for contributions and questions. Thank you guys for showing up.
Okay, thank you. I don't know if you've been able to answer the question that is there. There
Okay,
was
can
a
you read it out? I can't see the question.
Okay. Mr. Paul asked the question. He said, how do we audit in the case where several devices are connected, like in the case of a corporate organization?
Well, that you have to call in an electrical engineer. You have to, because since there are lots of co-founding factors and variables, and you have to call an engineer to do that for your company. But in your house, where you have limited appliances, you know which one is connected to which one. You can do for your house, but for your company, you need to get an engineer as well, actually, to check those things and teach you and give you like ideas on how to manage your energy consumption.
Yeah. And in addition to that, I know there's a device that the engineers use. They use it to check the power load on any system. So there is a special device. I can't remember the name again, but there is something like that. They'll just connect it to the power system, and I think towards the meter or something, and they will check how much load is on it at that point in time. Mr. Ajayi has his hand raised up.
Okay.
Mr. Ajayi, was that a mistake? Okay, I think that was a mistake because he has dropped the hand.
Okay.
Then there's also another question. Okay, go ahead.
I'm sorry, it's Miss Ajayi, firstly.
Oh, sorry, I was my bad. Miss Ajayi, please go ahead.
That's fine. Good evening. Thank you, Bethel, for the class. Yeah, I wanted to ask that apart from solar panel and which other way can we make sustainable energy that is realistic apart from solar panel? Because it looks like the solar panel has pros and cons, that it's quite expensive. Is there any other way we can make it a sustainable energy that's cheaper or better?
Okay, so you can also start with getting an inverter to store power. Basically, sometimes you may need lights, may not need lights for a particular amount of time. You can just store it, then use an inverter at your home. So for now, basically, what is the most common renewable energy that we are seeing right now? So solar panel and wind energy. There's also hydropower. So what you can just start with getting an inverter to store the one that you get from the national grid. If anybody has some ideas, let's contribute and learn from each other.
Okay, let me just jump in on this. From my experience, from what I've learned over time, I think the solar panel and the inverter are the most commonly used. Even the solar panel, as it were, it is getting to a state that it is beyond, the reach of an average Nigerian because the battery alone is very expensive. The alternative sources like the winds, the turbines, Nigeria is not really mature to that level where it will be commercialized for the citizen to subscribe to tap from that source of energy. But the solar panel and the inverter are the most common. Thank you.
All right. Does anybody have any more contributions? Don't forget your assignment to.
Okay, there's still one more. Mr. Paul Unwachuku again, I believe, say, is the idea of energy audit to get the actual loads or to help us reduce the loads?
So the energy audits is to get to know how much you have been consuming and how much you can do to reduce it. So it will also help you to change your behavior regarding energy usage to see how you can manage the energy you are using right now in your home. You just to do like a check and balance. General, just look at this, study what you have been doing and how much you've been consuming, and know what you can do to get it better. Reduce it by 15%, like I said.
Okay, Mr. Wally Prince Will. I hope it's not a miss this time also.
It's me. Good evening.
Okay, good
Uh,
evening.
I got cut off by the network. That network failure over here. So that was when you were talking about the application consumption rate. So I want to ask, do I necessarily need to to convert like divide by 1,000? I got cut off by the network then.
Okay, so when you put in your units, how much like you see, I think 1,000 usually gives me like 24 kilowatt hour. So you need to convert to kilowatt hour. You have to divide the watt hour by 1,000 to get you to kilowatt hour. That's the
Or
standard rate. Yeah,
um,
for
please, do you think? I think we can just have like a written material on the group as adding to the assignment because some of us will see how we may ask this question after now.
okay, no problem. I'll send something. I'll send like a sample. You
Yes,
can just hold.
thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Because I didn't get the assignment, but I believe the assignment will be dropped on the group soon.
All right,
Thank
sure.
you.